this tonight, good, bad and indifferent. It's the grey areas that make this sport what it is for me, and we should never take them away, and I hope we don't. But it was a phenomenal finish. We'll try and dissect it as best we can in the next 15 minutes or so, and we'll see a Jason McAteer whose emotions fluctuated.
Like a roller coaster.
Gianfranco's with us as well. But in fairness, Jason did say when Kane had missed his first attempt, well, a draw's a fair result. Which was just before Salah scored and he thought he'd won it.
I've been on a roller coaster of emotions there. That's not good.
What an extraordinary stoppage time finish. Salah, that was breathtaking on its own, his goal. And then Kane, almost with the last kick of the match, squared it all off. Reaction next. Right, let's try and sort out what we've just seen by way of a conclusion to the match at Anfield. 1-1, late on. Spurs will do here. We'll discover that justice was probably done here, wasn't it? When
he was offside. He was offside, yeah. Poor pen from Harry, granted, but it shouldn't really have been given. This linesman who gave it as well was heavily involved in the last 5 minutes you were alluding to before, but this was the wrong mistake. He was in an offside position before Lovren touches the ball. It shouldn't have been given.
Right, let's be as quiet as we can and listen in to what the two officials said on this side. I think John Ross saying, I've no idea whether Lovren touched the ball. I'm giving a penalty anyway. But the liner was right, wasn't he?
Listen, it doesn't matter whether Lovren...
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
He was off.
He was off, so yes.
Where the linesman got it wrong is he should have flagged. The offside is taken when Dele Alli plays the pass.
Plays the ball, yeah.
That's the moment we have to see where Harry Kane is. As soon as Dele Alli plays that ball, that's where Harry Kane's decision, off or on. He's off. Now, the fact that within a yard it hits someone.
Lovren?
No, Lovren was back at 18-yard line.
No, I think it's Lovren.
No, someone right there, right by Dele Alli, blocks it.
Oh, sorry.
What I'm saying to you, who goes and challenges?
Chan, maybe.
It's Wijnaldum, is it? Who's come on, is he? Right there.
Maybe, yeah.
Right, it's whoever's at 2 yards away from him. As he plays that ball, it hits him. So it hits him just there. Then Lovren plays it there. So the fact that Lovren had a swipe at it is irrelevant. And the fact that you see it from another angle, it is Wijnaldum.
Yeah,
Watch it. There you go.
Yeah.
See it hit Wijnaldum. And I don't know whether that confused the linesman, but that doesn't matter. It's when Dele Alli plays the ball.
It is, yes.
Right?
That yard.
As soon as Dele Alli played the ball and the linesman looked across, he should have flagged. He didn't. Now, he didn't.
Is there a debate here?
No, he catches his foot there, just there.
But how much of...
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
How much of that did Kane turn into a penalty that wasn't?
Well, exactly, but they're going to be given all day long.
Yeah, otherwise he would have gone. Even if he didn't touch or the touch was little. He stopped him.
Maybe he should have stayed on his feet and just scored.
Yeah. Well, no, he couldn't score.
He could have scored
This is
if he had the
dreadful
possibility.
penalty, isn't it?
I thought it looked a nervy penalty for me. I've not seen Harry Kane. Like, he's not in the best form, I don't think, right now, Harry. It's a stupid thing to say. But he's looked a little edgy with his chances in the last couple of games, and he's not quite been his best. Even tonight he wasn't, I didn't think.
I spoke to Clive about that as well. He said he was snatching at things recently. And
I
stuff.
would
He's
agree
right.
with Clive.
I agree with him. Yeah,
I would agree. And that wasn't the best penalty. So the fact of the matter is, the penalty that shouldn't have been, did it influence the game? No.
Well, at this point, as I mentioned earlier, Jason was quite happy to settle for a 1-1, weren't you?
I was actually, because of the way Liverpool performed in the second
half. This was
half.
just quite stunning.
You know, the quality you've got on the pitch, Ali, Eriksen, Kane, Liverpool, you've got Firmino, Salah. These players can do this kind of thing, produce out of nothing, and it was that was a sensational bit of football.
Jean, talk us through that. How good is this?
No, this is amazing.
You're a man of anyone
We've seen you do this.
No. We've seen him do this and sit Jamie Carragher down week after week.
Yeah.
To be honest, it came from nowhere. Nobody was expecting anything from there. Again, you can see Vertonghen has made a big mistake because he gambled too much. He went on the wrong. He was probably expecting it was going on his left, but you can't expect that from players like Salah in this moment. It was sensational.
And if I tell you that was Liverpool's only shot at goal in the second half.
But it for a while looked as though it was going to win it, didn't it?
It did. And do you know what I would have been sitting here saying? Do you know what? A lot of people have been criticising Liverpool for being unable to see a game out ugly. They were just about doing that second half at 1-0.
They wrote their luck, I thought.
Well, they weren't good in the second half, Liverpool.
No, really poor.
They were poor, and in fairness to Tottenham, they took the initiative right away. They started to press forward. They were much more mobile. They were better with their use of the ball. They kept it better. But they couldn't quite break Liverpool down. And if it had finished 1-0, we'd be sitting here saying, well, there you go. Klopp can win 1-0. And he can set up a team to defend and see it out.
Right.
Didn't quite work that way.
Lino, this side, was very busy and quite accurate, as it turned out, for many. John Moss hadn't given that look. John Moss had turned away.
John Moss said no.
Not interested.
It used to drive me mad as a player when a linesman used to influence a referee's decision and give. I used to say to him, you just give offsides, do your job. I've got to say, you got that right.
He got it completely.
But nowadays, you see that the referees' assistants and. You always tell when Van Dijk knows he's kicked him and he comes up right away.
Van Dijk didn't even see
Lamela. No. But that one is a correct decision. That's a penalty.
He's given the correct.
You know, there's no argument about that, Richard. That's a penalty.
So we credit the linesman with standing his ground, the assistant?
Well, Jason won't.
No, I will.
Well, I think in the
You've got to be fair.
interest of fairness, I think he will. Yeah.
And I've got to be honest. Even in real time, as soon as it happened, I shouted that that's a pen. It's a pen. You know, that was the other end. I'd be screaming, that's a penalty, and it is a penalty. The linesman
John
got
Moss
it right.
can't give that because he's looking at Van Dijk's back. He's on the 18-yard line. He's looking through a forest of players.
Well, I think without VAR, great credit to the officials today then, because the drama that we've had there, we wouldn't. You're right.
VAR kills that.
Absolutely. So what then do we say about the courage of Harry Kane having missed one less than 5 minutes earlier?
That's what he is, isn't he?
I wasn't expecting anybody else taking it. I knew he was going to do that.
I was expecting Eriksen, I have to say.
To be honest, I was expecting it. I was thinking they was going to take it on the other side. It's been good, very intelligent.
Stuart Pearce had to wait a lot longer for that from an England jersey, didn't he, for redemption?
If Harry was thinking anything as a centre forward, he's thinking, if I don't take this, people are going to doubt a part of me. Aren't they?
Yeah,
they're going to doubt my mental strength to cope with that. So I get, I think, what was in his head, that no, I've missed a penalty, so what? I'm not the first person to miss a penalty. I'm not going to be the last. Give me the ball.
Yeah, there were two other goals, one of them an extra set. We'll look back on it in a minute, but first of all, here's Jurgen Klopp.
Today.
You can certainly feel Jurgen Klopp's frustration. Empathy with him, Alan?
Yeah, I do. I think what mustn't be overlooked is that he's gone on about the decisions, etc., but he's never mentioned the big mistake from his goalkeeper where he should catch it. Yeah. He hasn't mentioned the mistake from Dejan Lovren when he should could actually clear that ball. But yes, I agree with him that the decisions that his team had to face in the latter part of that game, they were very, very harsh.
Mm. We said clear offside for the first one. We're not changing our mind, even if you have one more look.
No, we're not. No, as soon as Dele Alli passes this ball, Harry Kane is in an offside position. What happens after that is debatable. We know there's contact from Karius and Harry takes the knock, but as soon as this leaves his foot, it's a clear pass to Harry Kane, he's a yard offside. That's an easy decision for the linesman.
No, he didn't flag either. So when he called the referee over, he was actually saying he was in an offside position, but wasn't sure about the touch from Lovren. Then I mean, we don't know. We think it's definitely offside, or I do anyway. It's a very, very complicated law as offside anyway, and there's so many ifs and buts and whys and why nots, and it is difficult. I mean, they're discussing it there, but he didn't flag. He's saying it's offside. If it was, then I would like to know why he didn't flag. Who are they listening to?
They're listening to the fourth official. They're trying to get some information off him. I mean, we had a big debate about VAR, and I think that it might have overruled a few decisions here today.
What about the alleged volley? Would VAR have got involved in that?
This one for me is clear. What I don't like, I have to be honest, I don't like linesmen who get involved too much in the game. I mean, the star of the show today, apart from Mo Salah, is the linesman, isn't he? I mean, it shouldn't be.
What about the way Lamela goes down here, Alan?
Well, he jumps up. I mean, of course, there's contact. We can see that, but there's not enough contact for both feet to leave the floor and for the way he falls to the ground. I mean, it's very soft. It's not clear and obvious. We can sit here and discuss it as long as we want. I don't think there was enough for it to be a certain pen, no.
And in the second half, at that end, we'd seen Dele Alli go down. No penalty given. Yeah. Quite the opposite, yellow card for Dele Alli. Would that be in the referee's mind at all in that situation?
Absolutely, yes, it would be. We saw it yesterday also with Josh King at Bournemouth. What has to change now is that when a player is also being spotted as diving, which the referee did it today with Dele Alli, and it's a yellow card, they should be able to go back after the game, retrospective, and look at it and ban him for 2 games. So just because you got a yellow card in the game because the referee sees it, if the referee didn't see that, then they can go back, then they ban him if they think it's a clear and obvious dive. Now, it is a dive today, there's no doubt about it. There's no contact at all. He goes down, he accepts it. Look, after that, he gets up, he doesn't say a word, there's no complaint whatsoever. He's hoping and expecting contact. Lovren pulls out, there's no contact whatsoever, so he goes over, wanting the penalty. The referee got that one absolutely right, it's a yellow card, but I think the FA should now be able to look at that and ban him for 2 games, very much like they should do Josh King yesterday also.
Now, that is the 3rd time in the Premier League Dele Alli has been shown a yellow card for simulation. Does that worry you for the player himself going forward, and what Alan's saying, perhaps being in referee's mind for his team?
Well, it's not doing him any favours putting it in a referee's mind, is it? Because his reputation is going before him. So perhaps when he does get some contact, he's not going to get what he deserves.
If you were his manager now, 3 yellow cards for simulation, would you have a chat with him in the morning?
Yeah, he's got to be careful with that, isn't he? I mean, it's OK.
Should already had a
I'm all for trying to get the contact. If there's any contact, then take your chance. Because for the reason is, Steve, that we saw Oliver Burke yesterday playing for West Brom. He takes the ball, clearly gets touched, tries to stay on his feet. If he hits the floor, it's a certain penalty. But because he tries to stay on his feet, the referees do not bring it back and give the advantage to the attacking player. So you have to hit the floor to convince the referees. Now, that is out of order. There's no contact there from Dele Alli, and he just dives. OK. We must get a word with the man whose penalty got him his 100th Premier League goal and got Spurs a point. Here's Harry Kane. Harry Kane, the 27th Centurion, second fastest in Premier League history to 100 goals. He cannot lace Alan Shearer's boots. 1-2-4 and 1-4-1. But congratulations to Harry Kane. But the big debate still remains about the awarding of those penalties. Now, we haven't got much time. We've got Dermot Gallagher, the former Premier League referee, in the match centre with us. Mr. Shearer, over to you.
Yeah, Dermot, just if you could explain the offside law, because we sat in here and think when that pass is made from Dele Alli, it's meant for Harry Kane, who's 1.5 yards offside. Then there is a touch from Lovren, that's quite clear. We think it's offside here in the studio here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Al, what happens is that Kane's in an offside position, which isn't an offence, obviously. The ball's played to him. As it's played to him, Lovren has a chance to intercept the ball and takes that opportunity. You see here's the pass played through. Once Lovren takes that opportunity to play that ball, the minute it strikes him, Harry Kane is then in a position he has to go on and play. I think what happened then, Alan, is as it went on and the penalty was given, Eddie Smart called John over and said, look, I need to speak to you because Harry Kane was in an offside position. All I need to know is Lovren took a chance to play the ball. If he struck the ball, he's onside. If he didn't, he's offside. And that was the discussion.
Could you explain why he didn't flag then? If he was in an offside position and he wasn't sure Lovren touched it or not?
He can only flag if he knows he's offside, and that was the point, that what's happened is when the ball's gone dead, he said, I need to speak to you, because he has to signal that offside offence has been committed, but he doesn't know it's been committed because he doesn't know who last played the ball. And
so if you're saying Lovren leaves that ball, then Harry Kane's offside?
Yes, and that was the discussion.
But he's not. He's a yard. He's when that pass is designed for Harry. Just because it's a stretch for a ball, or he's not certain to get that shouldn't mean that all of a sudden he's active. There's no different phase of play or anything. It's still the same phase of play.
But the minute he deliberately goes to play that ball, which he did...
But if he's stretching for a ball, that's not his problem. It's his job to try and stretch it and try and cut it out.
Well, I can only explain how the law is comprised.
Act? Is that how it's defined, Dermot?
Absolutely. And the minute he goes to play that ball, he has chosen to play that ball. He's gone to play that ball. If he clears it, it goes upfield. As it is, he didn't clear it. But at that point, he plays Harry Kane onside. The only doubt between the officials was, did Lovren actually play the ball? If he didn't play the ball, as you say, Harry Kane would have been given offside. As he did play the ball, he can't give him offside, and therefore the player was allowed to go on, which resulted in a penalty.
Okay. But when the ball's played, Dermot, the linesman surely has to put his flag up, because as that ball's played, forget Lovren touch, he's in an offside position.
But he can't give offside at that point, Tim. He can only give an offside if he touches the ball, which he didn't, or if he challenges an opponent, which he didn't because he was behind his opponent. So at that point, all he can do is wait and see what happens. And as I said, it all depended on whether he touched that ball. And if you look at the video, he quite clearly touches that ball. Did
you think it was a clear touch for a foul on Harry Kane from the goalkeeper to be given a penalty anyway?
I thought the goalkeeper took him down with his shoulder, so I thought it was a penalty. And I think the good thing about that is the whole process for the referees in how the law is set up was perfectly executed.
Dermot, good to talk to you. We could spend all night talking about this. Thank you very much indeed. What a day. We need to take a big, deep breath. A volley, no touch. Thank you very much indeed for your company. I just wish the Premier League would serve up some talking points for us. It's been a big day at the top and the bottom. It was always going to be in that scrap to survive, and indeed the Champions League chase. 2 draws, and as we say, no shortage of talking points. See you soon.